All right, so starting in the front, my first impressions are it's really cute. It's very well kept up. It's got good curb appeal, and everything seems to be in relatively good condition. The things that I would be looking for are the stucco, which is the material that's on the outside wall, the exterior woodwork, which is like a frame around the garage, the frame around the window, the posts holding up the portal, and all that seems to be in really good condition. That front window there is not original to the house, so that's been updated. The fencing and the gates all look in good shape, and it does have a security door on the front door. Here's a little bit of another view of the streetscape. So the house was built in 1993. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a little over 1,000 square feet. It's heated by forced air, natural gas forced air heat. And they say it's got a swamp cooler, but I suspect it's actually air conditioning. There's a little bit of a difference there. Air conditioning is typically just the refrigerated air that you're probably familiar with. Swamp coolers are something that you use around here that uses water and sucks in air over filter pads that cool the air down. But from what I can tell, it looks like air conditioning to me. So it's really cute, not too big here. Main entrance, living room, probably could set up a dining room right there in front of that window. You've got some built-in shelving right here. There is a coat closet right when you come in. There's a fair amount of storage in this house, even though it's not gigantic. The tile is all in really nice shape, and it's the same tile all the way throughout the house. You can see one of the vents right there. A sliding glass door going out to the side yard. Pretty nice window coverings. Definitely nothing to be ashamed about. That sliding glass door is original, as are the 2 in the back bedrooms. So down that way is the hallway to the back bedroom. Straight ahead would be the guest. And then here's a guest bathroom. Full bath, cute little tile on there. I'm not sure what those are, tulips or something. And then a single sink with some blue tile in the mirror. Everything is nicely painted. You literally could move right into this. You wouldn't even have to paint. This would be the guest bedroom. I'd say it's about 12 by 14. It has a fan and a skylight. There's some snow on the skylight right now, so it's going to be probably a little bit more opaque than it normally would. A closet with some built-in shelves. These are hollow core doors, so they're not the fanciest kind, but they still look pretty nice. I actually like all the dark wood trim, especially around the baseboard and everything too. And then of course you've got your exterior entrance with this sliding glass door right here, which is nice, out to the backyard. And then this bedroom has the same thing. This one's a little bit longer, probably the same width. I would say 12 or 14 feet across, and then maybe 16 feet long, with its own entrance out to the backyard. And there's a storage shed too. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then this bedroom has its own full bathroom as well. So it's kind of nice that a house this small has 2 full bathrooms. And the light is great in here too. And that's a really cool tile. I don't know who did that or came up with that idea, but it's pretty unique. You don't typically see something like that. That's pretty festive, I would say. Toilet and sink, kind of a corner sink, which also has that same blue tile on it. And there's also a skylight in here and another skylight in the main bedroom. So I do not have any lights on in this house at all. This is what you're seeing. And it's a little bit cloudy today too, so I would say it's even a little bit darker than you would normally find. Okay, not a huge closet, but it would suffice. Now, the yard is quite small, but it's simple and it's low maintenance. These rocks, they hardly ever need to be watered, which is nice. And I don't see signs of weeds or elms or any kind of noxious things growing up that you would find typically. There's not a whole lot of landscaping per se, but it also means that it's not going to be very high maintenance. The neighbors there's a number of trees around the neighbor's property, but there are no trees on this property whatsoever. The fence is a little bit ad hoc in terms of, like, it looks like it's been added onto and things, but it's maybe not the prettiest thing, but it does look fairly secure and solid. Maybe this one might need a little bit of attention. Seems like it's pulling away just a little bit here. Over on that side, it's a double fence for some reason, but you do see that sometimes. This is a separately fenced little area, so if you have a dog, I guess this could be a little place that they could stay. And then let's just take a peek in here real quick. That's locked, and I don't have the key to that. It's just a pretty simple storage shed. That's not really going to work to show you what it is, but you could use that for, you know, garden tools and things like that. There's also a garage, but it's not exactly huge. So those are called canales. That's where the water comes off the roof. And I would probably suggest that this area could use some regrading, because you don't want the water kind of pooling and backing into the foundation. You want it to be graded so that it's coming away from the house. So that would be one thing that would need some attention right there. Or you could do rain barrels if you wanted to capture the water and use that to do some gardening with. You could put some raised beds back here to grow veggies and stuff like that. Just plop them right on the rocks, fill them up with some good soil, and that could be a good way to go if you are so inclined. Otherwise, that water drainage over there should probably be adjusted. Okay. Hate to come back in the house with my wet boots, but back into the main room. I'll just point out again, the woodwork is really lovely, and the ceilings in this room are pretty high. I would say 14 feet. And these are fairly common sort of beams. They're not vigas. Vigas would be the round ones that look more like a log. These have actually been hewn at the lumber mill, but they're still pretty, and you find these all over the place too. It's just, you know, partial preference. Some builders do vigas, some builders do beams. There are 2 skylights in here. And then, of course, this whole setup, which is kind of hard to explain, but the shelving and that thing. Also, I noticed there's a flue or outlet for wood stove. So if you wanted to, it doesn't look like there ever was one here, but if you were interested in getting a wood stove put in, or a pellet stove or something like that, you could probably do that without any problems. Thermostat, it's nice and toasty in here, by the way. Now this is a setup for a swamp cooler. This would be your cooling during the summertime. So it does seem like it is a swamp cooler, although it looks to me like it is air conditioning. These appliances are old, definitely. That is an old Whirlpool refrigerator that is probably from 1993 when the house was built. But I have to say, it looks immaculate. I mean, it's very clean. And I bet you this thing will run for another 20 years, because back then they were making them to last a lot longer. That has been changed out though, and you do have gas stove and oven. There is a hood, but it's one of those ones that just vents up above. Not a true vent going out. A lot of times you see that in houses in Santa Fe. It's so annoying. It's one thing I always check though to see if it's truly vented or not. You could vent this, wouldn't be too terribly tricky of a job if that was something you wanted to do. The cabinets are okay, they're like builder grade, they're nothing fancy, but you know, everything seems really clean. I think that the owner of this house, she bought it about 20 years ago and then used it as a rental. She really never lived in this house until recently, and then now she's not here anymore. So I don't know the whole story behind it, but it's the mother-in-law of the person Sabine, who's the listing broker. Here's your pantry. Not big, but again, nice and organized. You know, that's perfect for one person. And, you know, there's a little bit of cabinet space over the fridge that's not going to be too accessible. You got some cabinets and drawers down here. A two sink. That Crossley, I've never even heard of that, but that is most certainly original too. This has a little bit more wear and tear in it, but I bet that works great too, honestly. Now we got this little entry room that goes into the garage. And so you do have some cupboards, cabinets here, and a couple of shelves. And then let's look quickly into the mechanical room. I think it's mentioned something about the hot water here's age. It's hard to tell. I'd have to look it up by the serial number, but I'm guessing that the furnace, which is here on the left, on the right side, is probably original. But these things tend to last for a long time. This would be something that we would definitely want to have inspected just to see what the opinion would be of an inspector on that. Let's see. Natural gas. I'm looking for a date, but I don't see one. But honestly, this all looks pretty good. I'm not seeing anything that's giving me any cause for concern. It's pretty clean in here. I don't see signs of mice or anything like that, which is good. And, you know, that equipment may be older, but it looks like it's been well tended to. Okay, so the one-car garage. I'll put the garage door up. Sun's coming out, which is nice. So I don't know what kind of car you have. I have an SUV that would fit in here. If you have like a big pickup or something like that, that might be a little bit of an issue. But if you wanted to park your car in the garage, you wouldn't have a whole lot of extra room for storage, but you have this big back room here. And I don't know if that was added on at some point or what. I'm a little bit confused about this because look over here. This is a washer and dryer hookup. So originally the washer and dryer were in the garage, which meant you could probably barely get a car in here. And then they do have a few shelves, but not very big ones. This shelf is very, very skinny. I'm not quite sure what you would put on that. But it's nice and clean in here, and if you had a small enough stuff, you could still park a car in here because you have all this. And I'm wondering if this was added on at some point because it does not really seem like it jives with the rest of the house. In any case, there's another set of washer and dryer hookups back here. And you have some nice shelving. There's a shelf all the way along there. This is vented properly for the washer and dryer to be in here. There's two vents, one on either side there. You've got a bunch of electrical outlets on either side too. So this house is not gonna come with a washer and dryer. You would need to get your own washer and dryer. But, you know, not a huge deal on that. So, all in all, it's a pretty cute house. Last house I sold down here was about this size. It was actually it was 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Oh, here's the electric panel, which is full. So, which is fine. It doesn't, you know, you only need more if you were gonna add something more robust, like a hot tub or something like that. And yeah, look at that, see? AC. I'm very confused by this, but I do think it's air conditioning. Either way, you're gonna have cooling in this house, and there's another 220 plug up there for some random reason. This is fenced here. That's your electric meter, telephone box. You're gonna be able to get Xfinity down here for TV, internet, and phone. This is the gas meter. I think this is probably a 0 lot line, which means that their property goes all the way to the edge of your house here. So all of these landscaping and things like that belong to the neighbor's house. So there's really no landscaping whatsoever on this property. You could park another car right here as guest parking, but then you already have parking on the street too. And then there's your trash can and your recycling bin and a hose bib in the front. So that's about all. I think that was a pretty comprehensive tour. I'll post this up on my YouTube for you, and we can talk about it afterwards. I'm gonna go down the road and see what that other house is about. And if I can get in and check it out, I will take a video of that too.